Hi everyone, Azmre here. I am a motion designer working with After Effects and Geolayers for the last couple of years. And at this point, I have created hundreds of short map animations, and I have decided to share my insights and my experience, things I have discovered about script writing, storyboard, motion design, sound design in these short map animations, and how you can be successful in this niche. So today I'm starting a series of videos, and as a part of this series, this first video is going to be about good script ideas and how you can write a good script, and what are the kind of approaches you should take toward creating content in this niche. So let's start by going to my computer screen, and I will share some PowerPoint slides about the topic with you. So a good script writing starts by deciding what you are going to create content about. So in my opinion, there are two kinds of path that you can take while creating content in this niche. Either you are going to make content because you are having fun while creating it, or you are going to create content because you want to position yourself. You are just so good that you want to position yourself as authority in this niche. So first we are going to talk about what I mean by creating videos because you had fun while creating the project or bringing the idea into reality. So this suits for a person that is very creative, I think, and who thinks that he has many ideas that he want to bring into reality, and just had fun while creating these kind of animations. For this kind of person, I think the important point to remember is that you must have fun while creating these map animations. If you are not having fun, chances are the audience is not going to feel any bit funny while watching these map animations. So let's take a couple of examples to really understand this point of what I mean by making videos for fun. So here we have a channel Cosmopolite, and he makes these history short map animations, and just by looking at it you can see that the quality is very low. But what you can also see when you will watch these videos is that he uses these quirky sound effects and these meme kind of images that appeal to a meme culture, and you can feel that he is having fun while creating these, and he's quite successful at this. He has 20k subscriber and he's getting millions of views on the shorts. Next one is my personal example. So here I have some scripts. I decided to make a video on ICE, the immigration enforcement agency in the US, and it was quite a long script. First, that was the red flag. You can't have that long a script for a short map animation, and but I started it because the idea was really good. But while I was creating this, I was not having fun, so I dropped the project altogether. So this is a project that I basically watched on YouTube. The idea came from YouTube, and I thought I could improvise the idea and improve the visualization a bit. So to start with, I started with a contrast to show that which banknote was easiest to fake, and it turned out to be a Zimbabwean currency that printed millions of dollars, trillion dollar notes, billion dollar notes when they were having hyperinflation in 2008, and I created this visual for it. So the idea was basically that there was hyperinflation, and the government wasn't able to figure out how to curb it, and so what they decided was that they printed billion dollar notes, and in quick succession. When the process was this speedy, they passed a lot of security checks that are required for new bank currency notes, that made it easier for counterfeiters to print fake money, basically in Zimbabwe. So this is the meme, and I had a great laugh at it. So this is the point that I'm trying to get home, is that when you are making stuff for fun, you are able to detach yourself from the outcomes. I created this video, and it was worth to create just for this joke to come out. out of myself. And in this way, if this video doesn't get the views that I expect it to get, I will be completely fine with it, working on it, because it was worth to create just for this joke. So this is how making videos for fun helps you to detach yourself from the outcomes. And when you are detach yourself from the outcome and you are having fun while creating these videos, you can really focus on the parts that you can control in the process and not focus on the parts that you probably cannot control, like the views on TikTok or YouTube. Second approach that you can take to create these short map animations or write script for them is the approach that I took when I started out. If you are not creative like I was or I am right now, is to go with the intention to position yourself as authority in this niche and just be really good at this craft. So what I mean by this is really put in the work to search up the designs, good script, work on how to write good scripts, how good scripts are written, what are the other channels that are already trying to project themselves as authority in this niche. Work on your transitions, working on your speed graph, the stuff that I talk about on the channel earlier. So when you are not creative, you should be mindful of the fact that people come to your page to learn something accurate, visual, clearly explained, not just entertained. That is different from the videos that you made just for fun. These are the videos that actually require your dedication to the craft, to the storyboard design, to the motion design, to the sound design, to the transitions, to the speed graph, to the research that you put in to find the topic. So this is how you build trust with your audience when you come into the market with your homework. So in here we have an example of a comment from someone who does not trust you. For this comment says, here's where it gets wild, nothing gets wild, here's the twist, there's no twist. So you might have seen a lot of videos that says, here is where it gets wild, but then just state a very common fact about the country. So you shouldn't be doing this. If there is no wild fact, you shouldn't say stuff like this. Or you shouldn't say stuff like many people don't know, if it's a common thing for everybody to know. See, use some common sense when you're trying to project yourself as authority. That's what I mean basically here. So once you come into the market with your homework, people trust you, and then they subscribe to you, they watch your videos, and they share and they follow. So another thing that I discovered is that you should be giving in your videos more than just the information, but it should be like hidden. It should be like mystery cookie, stuff like that. For example, take the example of Geoglobetail videos. So there is this information that he provides, there is these visuals that he provides, and then he provides something that is not demanded by the public. The smoothness, the crispiness of those animations. He could just end the videos with the default graph settings that come with the map animations or that come with the animation when you apply the keyframe. But he works on the speed graph. He makes sure the graph is crisp, smooth, because that increases the value of the video. But that is not something demanded by the public. A lot of guys are doing just default animations and not working with a speed graph or the value graph. But he provides, and this becomes one of the reasons why people think Geoglobetails is the authority in this niche. The next point to remember when you are approaching this script writing from a perspective of positioning yourself as authority in this niche is don't be biased about something. For example, here we have an example of someone biased. Check out this insane map animation. Is that map animation insane actually, or you are just biased about it because you created this? What the creator who is trying to educate does is that he just says the stuff as it is. If there is a fact, he will say the fact. If there is something incorrect, he will say that that is incorrect. That's pretty much it. For example, this is a very recent project that I'm going to share. So this is a script that I'm creating that is about sharing the parallels between different countries. So here we have some countries that have some parallels, But I added another country, that is Pakistan and Israel. So Pakistan and Israel has had a lot of similarities, parallels. They are both created on the basis of some identity, and they are both creation of some partition era makeshift policies, and both are very wary of their neighbors. They have difficult neighbors, and they want to expunge out the foreigner from their land, like Pakistan with Afghanis or Israel with Palestinians. So I may be biased about it because I'm Pakistani. So what I did was that I added a paragraph about how they both require US alliance when they have difficult time with their neighbors or something like that. But that was something biased. I have said the same point but try to put in as a fact that they historically have leaned on US alliances when they are in trouble or when they are in crisis. So what the bias that I had in mind was that both require the daddy US to come in when there is a conflict. But if I'm trying to position myself as authority, I cannot say stuff like that. That will be biased. I have to rely on the facts only and try to be as neutral as I can. So this is pretty much it for that. And next I want to talk about the mindset that you should have for writing the script or creating the storyboard, story design for the script. First one is that you should detach yourself from the outcome and just focus on the explaining the idea as best as you can with the design, sound design, or the words basically. In the script, every sentence should follow a cause effect or answer why. For example, here we have a script about a lottery winner turned drug lord and was sentenced to 16 years of jail in 2026. And this was an interesting story that I wanted to talk about, so I created a script on it. And here I talk about that he was creating thousands of Valium tablets that cure the anxiety after a hangover or something like that. And after that, I could just have straight gotten into that they were laced, or they had some kind of illegal substance in them. That was atizolum, a substance that is banned in the US. But I could not have gone without describing the cause of that sentence first. I had gone to the atizolum sentence, but I had not explained the cause of that fact. Why atizolum? I had to show the direction that they weren't just fake pills, they were laced with an illegal substance. So I had to use a sentence that they were not just counterfeit pills. Add a cause and then add an effect. I could not just add they were laced with atizolum. That doesn't answer why. Why are you talking about this? So to ease into that transition with to atizolum, I had to use a sentence that but they weren't just counterfeit pills. So this is what I'm trying to mean by that you should have a cause and effect or answer a why with every sentence in the script. The next point is about having your script sentences written as beats, not actual sentences. Here is a script from one of my recent videos that I published on the channel as a workflow. So here you can see we have very long sentences with no care for the zoom in and zoom out of the camera or synchronization overall in the video. This is a very long sentence and you should not write sentences like that. A good example of how sentences should be written was seen in Cognize videos. I made a video about it a bit earlier this year. The point is that the script should be written in beats. Here is an example of script written in beats. Just read this sentence. Number 3, Malaysia. High-rise apartments in Georgetown or Kuala Lumpur for just $35 a night. Street stalls serve massive bowls of mee goreng or nasi lemak. Costs almost nothing. Eat like a king. You see, so there is a rhythm with the narration, and I think you should have a rhythm in your narration when you are making your map animations. Similarly, with the number 2, Number 2, Tajikistan, full lunch for 2 and with coke and tea, 103, a bottle of vodka, sometimes less than $1. You will struggle to spend it all. So you should have this kind of rhythm. And you cannot have this when you have a script like this. We are now 6 weeks into 2026 and the Suka is no, I just can't. And lastly, a great map script should make you think, oh, this is a zoom right here. So, for example, let's go to the parallel countries example of script. So when I have this script and that I'm going to work on after this recording, most people think that countries only resemble their neighbors. But some nations mirror each other across oceans. So when I read the first sentence, I immediately had this meme in the mind. So I had this meme. I had this meme. I could play with this meme at the start to just for this first sentence. And then the next sentence, but some nations mirror each other across ocean. There will be a zoom out and the countries that have parallels like France and Argentina will have maps features popping out with the same color. For example, orange or yellow or blue. And then the next parallel countries will also have, and they will appear for like a second. Fade in animation and fade out animation होगी उन पर, and that will be it. A good script should make you think like that. That the design already starts appearing in your mind when you look at the script. So this is pretty much it for this. Okay, so some common mistakes. The first one that we already talked about, writing like a Wikipedia paragraph. Most people don't realize this, or most people forget. Why would they even care? Next mistake is explaining before showing, jumping to locations without visual transitions, the smooth transition that we use with the black fade transition or the whip transition or swipe transition, zoom in transition, match cuts. You should use these in your animations. Using maps as backgrounds instead of the main storytellers. Yeah, this is an important point because most of the videos that you will see in this niche are an exact example of this. And we will look at an example on the next page. And the next one is trying to impress instead of clarify. The same point about here, check out this insane map animation. We are not here to impress anyone. We are here just to explain an idea as clearly as possible. That's it. That's value. Insanity or impressing someone is not the value. And next is a personal tip that I just thought about earlier this week, that people dread absent mindedness. They don't want to be absent minded. They don't want to be with their thoughts when they are doom scrolling. That's why they came to TikTok or YouTube, because they don't want to be alone with their thoughts. If they are alone with their thoughts, they will realize that they have been so absent from their life actually. They have not been living. And you shouldn't be a your video shouldn't be a reminder of that when they are doom scrolling. So you shouldn't be absent minded when you are creating these short map animations. You should be present, and by present I mean you should be trying to clarify the idea as much as possible. Again, come to the example. Here is where it gets wild. Nothing gets wild. Here is the twist. There's no twist. Lastly, I want to talk about some script resources where you can find good ideas for the scripts that has the potential to go viral. So here, as an example, I have taken a video from Geolayers3 that has 50 million views. So starting, the first idea came into YouTube on June 9th. That video was posted. It was simple B-roll video of the guy walking around like a documentary on it, on his personal channel or his colleague's channel, and it has 20 million views that prove that the idea had potential to go viral. And someone picked it up. Like here is the initial frame of that video, but that guy did the mistakes that we talked earlier and used the Geolayers maps as background and got 20k views. Then the third video was posted, and here is a starting frame from Geoglobe Tales. It has garnered 50 million views so far at the point of this recording, and it has gone viral. So you can find scripts from ideas from YouTube like that. And another source that I have started using recently is Reddit. As you can see, you can find some ideas that you think has potential, that you can work with, that you can create scripts and designs on. You can go with it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today, and thank you for watching, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next one. Next video is going to be about storyboard. After writing the script, if you need a storyboard and how to get ideas turned into design for the short map animations, and what are the key points that you should remember while structuring the design of the video. Thanks again, and bye.